Hello Saberites! Today we are going to go through the KR Erasmus. So this originally started off as a sketch of mine. Many sketches in this book, but just a concept sketch based on a Carl Catan kind of look. There's also inspiration from Shin Hati, kind of Star Killer kind of emitter, the Kestis crossguard extension pommel section. So there's a bit of inspiration all the way through mixed through this hilt. And then of course I go to the effort of printing it to see how it looks and feels. And obviously the print turned out well. And at the time I didn't have a name for it. Cal suggested naming it after my dog Rasmus, which means beloved, and then Erasmus is Greek for beloved. So yeah, and then it turned out rather nice. Box is designed by Christian Cruz, did an excellent job. And so let's go through what we have in the box. So immediately you've got the main hilt here. You should check these little packets that come with. You should have a tiny little PCB that will go in your control box. You should have a pixel ring that goes on top of your chassis to light up the accent holes. And then you should have an Allen key that comes with the hilt as well. And then you have the hilt itself. So I haven't actually checked this one, so this will be interesting. And there we go. Cool, got the main hilt there. Let's tidy this away. Alright, so straight out of the box you might notice a few things are out of alignment. I'll walk you through everything that you need to do. There is something on this hilt that the factory don't assemble quite correctly, so I'll walk you through what to do with that as well. So first things first, this is the first KR custom lightsaber with a thin neck. It's rather nice. This is clockable, this whole emitter is clockable. I'll walk you through that. The rings here are clockable as well, so you can get them to the orientation that you like. You can also turn the swivel point to whichever position you want as well. There's a thread locking nut on the inside, so you just need to undo that to loosen it up. Also you have the ability to pinch up the loop as well with an Allen key to make sure it doesn't jangle around too much. You see how it is right now. It's not going anywhere. 2 plunger setup, nice and easy, and you get a nice blade plug, blade retention screw there, just a thumb screw, blade plug there. And so let's break this down and we'll go through how to clock everything and assemble everything. So unscrew your grip and let's go through the emitter as well. So this is clockable. This uses my same Kestis emitter clocking system, so you might find it super stiff when you get it. So just grip on both of these parts, the upper emitter and this spinny bit down here with the accent lights. Unscrew that all the way. And so we'll come back to that in a moment. I like to just swivel that down, like so. Put that aside for the moment. So first things first, we're going to assemble the control box PCB. It's a little accent PCB. Whilst I'm doing this, I should walk you through the different chassis that are available. And I have already assembled a chassis ready. This is a removable Eco Max. Now you're wondering why have I got a massive hole here. I haven't got a Bluetooth unit yet, so next time I go into the office I need to pick one up and insert it into my chassis. But nice and easy. So I've got Eco Max removable, Eco CC removable, and Eco removable, and Elite removable. The Elite's all designed up, it just needs to be cast. I mean, they do some test prints. And then fixed chassis, there is Eco, EcoCC and Eco... There might be an Eco Max. I may have designed an Eco Max. I can't remember. I'm always designing chassis. But the Eco Max might not have Bluetooth and OLED. It might just have the motor. So I'm not sure if you saw that, but you simply unscrew the brass plungers. And let's get the PCB out. Now, if you've watched my videos before, I'm not very good at getting these baggies open. So sometimes it's easier for me to just rip the bag open. Now if you have a removable chassis like this one here, this is a removable chassis, you've got a nice little groove here that lines up with the screw and then rotates to be in position. And what I recommend is when you get this, they don't assemble this little cube here. You see that they don't assemble that very tight at all. So get a small screwdriver. Let's see if I've got one to hand. I should have got one out earlier in preparation, but I didn't. Just a small one, because you don't want to over wrench this, and just pinch this down a little bit so the screw goes through the body a little bit more, and then you should get a nice decent, if you line up your groove, chassis retention system there. Now if you're going for a removable but you want it to be fixed, say you're going to be one of these people that doesn't actually use the kill switch in the removable system, there we go, it's because I haven't got the rest of the assembly together. If you're not going to be bothered about using the kill switch and you're just going to be dropping the battery in and out, what I recommend is then you can remove this countersink screw and put an M3 grub screw in position, and lock your chassis down with that, and then you've got a removable chassis, but it's just being retained. If you're buying a fixed chassis, it just uses the countersink screw to hold it all together. But yeah, so you've got the option there to make your removable chassis a fixed chassis. You just won't be able to get access to your kill switch. Right, so let's just do that up a little bit more, because I want a little bit more of the screw coming through. There we go. There we go. That's better. So just pinch that up with a small screwdriver. Put those to the side. Now you're more than welcome to put a bit of 3M tape onto the back of the PCB if you want to help retain it a bit more if you want to. That's entirely up to you, but you shouldn't need to. Place the PCB in the slot in the control box, put it over the top there, grab your brass plungers, gently find the threads, do the first one up loosely, get the second one in, find the threads, and then tighten it up. And then if your first one is still loose, tighten that one back up as well. Bit fiddly, but it's a process you have to do once. Make sure they're nice and tight, and that your control box doesn't wrestle around, and that should be pinching onto your PCB as well with no wrestle. So that's that. Right, now let's clock the emitter. So really important thing to note, for your chassis to work properly, you don't want the bottom of this protruding further than the bottom of the pocket on the inside of the hilt. So just keep that in mind. So thread your emitter in place. When you can feel inside that the two surfaces are about to align, try and find the orientation that you want, and then lock down this accent piece as much as you can, and then twist everything to the desired position. And I want it about there. A little bit more. Perfect. Cool. So then that's the emitter clocked and sorted, and the gold surface there is not protruding further down into the main body, which is perfect. Now, I told you that the factory doesn't assemble something quite correctly in the emitter area, so this gold lip up here can be unscrewed, and you can also make sure that this piece here, by turning it the wrong way, you can tighten that up. But if you unscrew this brass top piece here, not super exciting, I know, but we'll get there. There we go. And take out your blade retention screw. You'll be able to see that this shield comes off, and then this black piece is retained with 2 screws. Now, using the Allen key provided with the hilt, unscrew that like so. And so you should be able to see straight away that there are through holes for each screw to be accessed from the other side. So what I want to do then is remove the 2 grub screws and insert them from the inside using the access holes on the other side. So basically you're putting them in backwards into the same holes that they originally came through. And just put them to a point where they're not protruding out the other side. Like so. Then this is the method you use to make sure you get no rattle from this part here. So then you slide your emitter shield over the black piece. If you immediately find it's catching, just withdraw your grub screw a little bit, and then slide it down until the 2 holes for your blade retention screw line up. And then what I want you to do is just drop that all the way through there, because then you'll know the 2 parts are aligned. And then go inside and just pinch up very gently. You don't need to overdo it. Remember, this is aluminium, it's not steel. Screws are steel, but the shrouds are aluminium. Just pinch them up very lightly. Like so, you see. Not put much force on it. And then do the other one. Just like that. You can remove your blade retention screw now, because this part here retains both of these sections, and now this ensures that this part here will not wrestle against this part here. So now you can slide that over if you want to and thread this up. But whilst we're here, we also have a retention screw here for the internal PCB holder. So if you're going for an installed version, back this screw out a little bit, drop your installed PCB holder down the center there, and then gently pinch this up. You're pinching into plastic, so just a little pinch, and then that's not going to drop out on you. And then you can put this part back on, and I recommend you grab your blade retention screw, thread it in, and then you don't tighten it up all the way, back it out a little bit, and then thread down this brass collar again. And when you tighten up that brass collar all the way, that will help get you a nice solid assembly for your emitter. And there we go. Let's unscrew our blade retention screw. We'll put our blade plug back in. Pinch that down. It's not going anywhere. Cool, so we're almost done. Now when it comes to clocking the grip, this one seems to be clocked reasonably well out of the box, but just in case yours isn't, I recommend you unscrew the pommel here. Unscrew this section here. Keep the brass over this bit here. You can see that threaded nut down the bottom there of the pocket, so therefore that you can change the position or remove the sling point if you want to. There's also the grub screw in there that can be used to help pinch up your loop, because if I unscrew that, you can now see I can move the loop up and down. So just by having that little method there, you remove any rattle of the loop, which I think is pretty neat. So this is all coming loose now, so I want you to thread this upper collar down, thread on your grip section all the way, and you'll notice you've got a little gap here, which is absolutely fine. I want you to then thread the upper piece up so it goes solid, and then clock your brass sleeve and your lower aluminium sleeve to the position you want, which is about there. Grab your upper pommel, thread that down, and make sure that's done up as tight as possible. So that's reasonably tight. And then with the upper collar up here, just back it down if you can, just by a little bit. And then you've got that sleeve all clocked. And then for the pommel, because the brass piece is removable and hiding your sound vents, you want to be able to clock that as well. So that's not in the right position, so we undo that a little bit. Do it up there, tighten it up, and there we go. We are all good. So now we have a nice, and you can clock this separately, I'm not going to do that, but that's just a nut to change that around. And there we go, we have a clocked Erasmus. Now you can clock this however you want. You can have the emitter facing the other way if you want to, 90 degrees the other way, entirely up to you, as long as the brass doesn't go further down into the pocket than the actual internal ledge, then you're all good. So then that's all sorted. So let's light this up. So we have an Eco Max chassis. Grab a battery, put it in, flick it on, and so we've got that accent ring that comes with your hilt. It's lighting up nicely up at the top there. This is the Eco Max, so it's got a spinning chamber part. And then I've programmed this with some very basic sound fonts, and then I've also in my config done a whole load of sound fonts that haven't got the motor turning as well, so you don't hear the motor noise. So this is a removable chassis, so you line up your groove with the switches, go all the way in, turn it, and then thread your grip on. Make sure it's nice and tight, hit your button. We've got nice accent lights coming through just underneath the neck there. No rattle from the hilt whatsoever. And your misser's lighting up nicely as well. Got some nice sound. You've got the glow of the crystal chamber coming through the small holes on the body as well. I like the green on this hilt. I think the green looks really good. So there we go. We have an installed Erasmus. And then of course you've got your thumb screw there to remove your blade plug and find a blade. I haven't got much room on my desk here, but put it in. And there we go. Perfect. So there you go, that's how to inspect and install and clock your Erasmus. Now we've only made 100 of these, so these are very, very limited. So do rush to get one if you want one. The only Allen key you need is the one it comes with, and do keep this PCB safe, and also get that other PCB into the control box area, because that just finishes off the hilt nicely. So yeah, job done. Good looking hilt, nice thin neck. It's weighty as well because of the brass, and quite well balanced as well. Good old gesture controls. Right, that's it for that one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Right, if you made it to this part of the video, well done. Thank you for watching all the way through. So I base this primarily on the Kyle-Katarn lightsaber. I love the Kyle-Katarn lightsaber. I think it's a very cool looking lightsaber. Obviously he's a Legends character, no longer canon at the moment. Who knows what's going to happen. I have designed his lightsaber. It is 1-to-1 scaling to the in-game lightsaber from Jedi Outcast, and also appears in Jedi Academy as well. So that is his third hilt. I have designed it 1-to-1, engineered it, it's all ready to go. The thing is, we need to know if it's a popular hilt. I think it will be popular enough to do a nice run of. I think it's an excellent looking hilt. I've got all the colours right, because there's many different shades of grey inside the hilt when you look closely at the in-game renders and stuff like that. So it's going to be the only accurate hilt design of the Kyle-Katarn hilt in the market, on the market, that's been produced yet. And it allows for a 31mm speaker, and it's also got a good blade depth and hidden blade retention screws, and it will come with steel pins or brass pins depending on what you prefer on the neck, even though accuracy wise it's steel pins. You'll have that option as well. It's all designed up, ready to go. If you're interested, please drop us an email into the Saber Armory and tell us, Cal, we want the Kyle-Katarn lightsaber. Let him know. I'm ready to move on it. He's not sure. Let's get the Kyle-Katarn made. Thanks guys. See you later. Bye.